along to the long-awaited episode 80 some 60
80 60
episode 80 episode. Let's do that again. 68. Welcome to 68. Welcome to Hi everybody. Welcome to episode 68. Oh. Good evening, cupcakes, and welcome along to episode 68, the long-awaited return of ReadyPlayer 2. We are coming to you at the end of a momentous week that marks 2016's EGX, which we will not be speaking about because none of us attended.
Finger on the pulse.
I'm sure it was extremely exciting for everybody who was there and decided to queue for 2.5 hours per game, but unfortunately none of us partook in the gorgeous queuing that was this year's EGX. So instead, we're going to talk about the marvellous games that we've been playing and the things that we've seen in the news recently. I did ask on Twitter if anybody had any bombshells from EGX that they wanted to just talk about on the podcast.
Did anyone actually tweet you?
No. Nobody. Apparently, everybody was underwhelmed. So, there we go. So here we are, and we've been playing stuff. Now, we did record an episode 68 that has become one of our more recent lost episodes. So, hopefully this one is actually going to see the light of day. Hello, everybody. We've got with us today Mr. Rossifel Bellbag making his triumphant return.
Are you sure you're not having a stroke?
I'm not sure what's going on with me tonight.
Can you smell toast?
Bellbag?
I smell antelope. And we also have Lewis.
The joy that is.
The joy that is Mr. Lewis Kong. And I'm Rich, and I am apparently incapable of speech tonight, so good luck, everybody. We have no Lee tonight, we have no L. Hopefully we're going to be seeing both of them very soon. But we're here. We're feeling good, aren't we?
Yes.
Yep.
Lewis had to think about that for a minute.
No, I was just thinking whether we actually wanted to see Lee again.
I was going to say one of those over the other. I'm more
How very dare you. What we've been playing exciting things?
No.
Oh.
I've been playing mobile
so
games
onto the news. Well, last time we spoke, we'd actually played some games that were reasonably on the pulse of the gaming industry, games that had only just come out. But that was weeks ago now.
That was you.
So true to form, what did you play weeks ago, Lewis?
Well, this isn't weeks ago, this is more recently, so
No way.
I've forgotten about those. They're long.
Oh, right, okay.
Actually, this is relatively on the pulse. Unbox.
Yes!
That's recent.
This is right on the pulse. So you've got a copy of this and you've been playing. This only came out like a week ago, didn't it?
Yeah, week, 2 weeks, I don't know. It came out at the beginning of September, I think. Yeah, so Andrew from Unbox, full disclosure, sent us some codes for the game, and it's good fun. It's there's not a lot else I can say about it. It is just good fun to play.
Like, I haven't actually played Unbox yet. They didn't add a multiplayer mode in the end, as they said they weren't going to, did they? Or, sorry, an online multiplayer mode.
Yeah.
So it's very
no,
much kind of
yet,
co-op gaming, isn't it?
Yeah, it's definitely couch gaming, but yeah, it's excellent. The music in it is brilliant. It's like being at a Caribbean barbecue.
In which you are a cardboard box.
In which you are a cardboard box.
I've been to so many of those, I couldn't even tell you. So this is the game that we saw at last year's EGX. This is the game that we gave Indie Game of the Show, didn't we, last year?
Yes.
And we were really taken by this. We went back to them a few times, and we actually had...
Andrew Benneson.
We had Andrew on the podcast. Yeah, we had a special little Unbox podcast with Andrew. And he's a lovely bloke. And they seemed like genuinely all of them were really, really nice people. And the game had come in leaps and bounds and looks gorgeous. Does it still look just as good as it did when we played it back at EGX?
Yeah, very much so. Even better, in fact. It's just... I think it's difficult to not make a game look beautiful in Unreal Engine 4, but this is just... I don't know, it just looks beautiful. so nice.
They took on this, I don't even know if it was a challenge, but they basically went, right, what we essentially want to do is make a really gorgeous looking game that has got kind of tones of Mario 64. I don't know if that's what they went for, but that seems to be what they got.
Yeah.
Mario 64, Banjo-Kazooie, it kind of feels like that, but you're a cardboard box. It just seems ridiculous.
Self-delivering cardboard box.
Yeah. So you're a self-delivering cardboard box, and the whole unbox mechanism is when you jump, you kind of turd out a smaller box at the bottom of you, and it propels you to even greater heights, while the poor little shit that you just got rid of is presumably plummeting to its doom. So in essence, it's exactly the way that Royal Mail work. What they do is they get a big package, and as they're going along, they just scatter them. So what you end up getting is in no way, shape or form reminiscent of what it was you actually ordered in the first place.
Is this Yodel the game?
I was going to say, to be fair, that sounds more like Yodel than...
Guys, my Hermes, we could go on.
Yeah.
It still looks... I haven't played this yet. I haven't played it since it was released. Woe is me. I'm going to have to get on it and give it a go. So is it one of these things where it's good fun and nice to play on your own, but really it's a game that you want to sit down on a couch with people and play together?
Yeah, for the modes that we played at EGX, obviously they are the kind of... I think that's the bread and butter of the game, and then you've got the single player mode, which I don't want to say it was an afterthought, but it ties it all together really nicely.
Well, do you know what's weird, though? When we got to EGX... See, I thought that, because when we were playing the multiplayer at EGX, it was great fun. It had us all giggling along, and that was why we went back a couple of times, because we thought it was really good fun. But actually, they told us at 2015 EGX that originally the game was only single player, and they'd only just added the multiplayer modes for EGX.
Yeah.
But yeah, that became the big draw for it.
Well, I mean, with games like Gang Beasts and some other games that escape me at the moment, I think couch gaming is coming back, which is why modes like that are so popular, because people want to sit and play games with their friends.
Well, so this, right, Unbox is on Steam at the moment, came out on the 5th of September, you're very right, it's $11.99. It is kind of mental, but they've added loads and loads of stuff into it from what I can see, and that it's got all the physics stuff, but you can drive, I don't know, do you drive the cars, or do you just kind of sit in them and they roll along?
No, you drive them.
You drive them, and it's got like balloons that lift you up in the air, and you can go all over the island and fire rockets, and it's just a little bit crazy, but it looks gorgeous with it as well. Yeah. It's got very positive reviews on Steam at the moment, which looks like it's very justified. And
there is a free demo available.
Have they done a free demo?
Nice.
And the soundtrack. Oh my god, I'm downloading that.
See, this is right. This is these are a group of people who know what gamers want.
Yeah, good guys.
This is the thing. You have a demo.
Yeah.
Have a demo, and people will decide whether or not they want to buy the game. Anyway, so I think what we need to do, if possible, is all give this a bit of a go. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to play this with the kids, because I've got Steam streaming set up on my TV now, so I can play multiplayer games with the kids. Doesn't always work, because Xbox pads are almost the size of some of my children. so they can't. But that just means that I'm going to win. So that's also fine. Ross, have you been playing anything recently?
I've been playing a fair bit of stuff, yeah. I'm going to start with the
Stop. Wait. Is it new? And does it have balls in it?
I'm going to leave that till last.
Okay.
I'm going to start with Shell Shock Live, which is a Steam game that's been on my wishlist for a long time, and it came on sale a few weeks back. I got it for about £3 something, I think. It is really good fun.
Is it really?
There's a single player mode.
Pretty sure that's £3 more than I wanted to pay for it.
Yeah, is it better than the browser version?
Yes, Lee told me you guys had some issues with the browser version. It's much better than the browser version.
Yeah, the issues being that it was PAP.
The full game is really good fun. It's basically Worms, but with tanks.
Yeah, but there's been quite a few of these games, hasn't there? There's been quite a few kind of Worms with tanks multiplayer games.
Yeah. This, you level up, you unlock new weapons. The more you hit with the weapons, they upgrade to different versions of those weapons, things like that. I've got a weapon called the Chicken Fling, where you throw chicken drumsticks at people. There's Cat Fling, where you fire cats out at people.
Is there an Antelope Fling?
Are all the weapons just animal-based, where you fling different
animal
abuse?
I mean, that's hopefully a DLC pack coming in the future, but no, there are standard weapons as well. But yeah, it's really good fun. There is a single player mode that kind of is a bit boring because you're just on your own against the AI. But all the fun's to be had in the multiplayer. There's like 2-on-2, 4-on-4, or there's 1-on-7 where you make yourself a juggernaut and 7 other people are trying to kill you every round, which is very good fun.
If you can promise me that this isn't pants, I might get it. But
I promise you it isn't.
When you told us about it, we went off and went, I'm not so sure about that. And then we discovered that there was a browser version of the game, which is where it all started. So we went, let's just play that, because we don't have to pay for it. Now, there's a reason that the browser-based version of this game is free.
Exactly, yeah.
Because it's just a bit turd, if I'm being honest.
Next time it comes on sale, it's definitely worth picking up. If it's like £3 something, it's definitely worth it. I'll buy it for you all, and you will all.
Well, if you're going to buy it for me, I'll play it, Ross.
Not at full price, but yeah, it's definitely worth the sale price. Because it's basically a good, quick 10-15 minute game that you can play, have a little bit of fun, and jump off.
See, your history of games that you've got for us, as much as I firmly appreciate everything that you do for us and trying to get us on games, they either frustrate the hell out of us to the point that we never play them again. Yep. Or we look at them and go, we're not paying for that, and then play a browser-based version of it, and it's rubbish.
Yeah, true. This is much better than a browser, I'll promise you. It is.
Okay,
it's got very positive overall reviews from almost 4,000 on Steam.
Well, Steam reviewers are never wrong.
Well, yeah, that's the best.
Okay.
To be fair, it's only $4.99 normally, or $14.99 for a 4-pack, so...
Yeah, it's cross-platform. I don't even know it's on another platform, but fair enough.
It's not that I don't believe you, Ross, but it still looks rubbish. I really want to play it. But
yeah, you have to play it. That's the thing.
I'll give it a go. I will give it a go.
It doesn't look massively entertaining because it's just literally tanks on a map.
Firing things at people, a la Worms, without any of the funny voices or amazing, crazy, over-the-top weapons.
You get to throw cats at people.
Oh my word.
I can do that.
No, you're not allowed to do that anymore. We've discussed this. You're banned. You've been banned from that. All right, look. I'm going to talk about a game that I played. And at the time that I spoke about this originally on the podcast, this was a game that had literally just come out. In fact, I'm pretty sure that it had come out 2 days before I started talking about it on the podcast. And nobody heard this, but I waxed lyrical about this particular game, and I was saying how fantastic it was and how a load of the reviews that I'd seen were completely unjust. Since then, I finished it.
Like
I kind of get what they were talking about. So this is Deus Ex: Mankind Divided, which at the time that we're doing this podcast has got overall mixed reviews on Steam. I loved Human Revolution. I thought that Human Revolution was an absolutely fantastic game. If you weren't into Human Revolution, then there's just no way you're going to be into this game. So there's no point trying. It is essentially the same formula. The storyline is very good. The graphics are great. That's the first thing. The graphics are brilliant. The storyline's really good. The way that it moves and the upgrade system and everything in it is really good. But there's a load of problems with it. And this is I feel kind of bad saying this, but the entire thing's set in Prague.
Right.
And part of this is the same problem that I had with Age of Ultron, Avengers Age of Ultron. Where it feels like they're fed up of just railing over Western countries and America and the UK and all the big uns, right? And they just make up some fucking country in the middle of nowhere and decide to rag on that instead. And the problem is it feels so disconnected from... I mean, obviously it isn't because not everybody lives in the United States or the UK. But it feels so disconnected from anything that could ever actually happen over here that it just doesn't feel real. And I know it's not supposed to because it's...
It's a video game.
Yeah, it's androids and cyborgs walking around and stuff like that. But they've tried really, really hard to create this kind of air of racism where you've got all these people who have been augmented and they didn't have a choice in it because they've obviously, been amputated or whatever. And instead of just getting a rubbish prosthetic, they've gone off and got something amazing that could potentially make you fly or fire rockets or something like that. And now,
hang on a sec.
Right.
So, why would you go, I've lost an arm? Like, instead of just having a robot arm, why would you go, stick a couple of Sidewinders in there as well? And
do you know what I mean? A couple of Tomahawks and I'm your man.
Just in case.
Yeah, you never know what's going to happen. The thing is, because after the events of the first game, if you haven't played it, you wouldn't know, but at the end of, not the first game, but at the end of Human Revolution, spoilers, there's these chips that's in everybody who's got an augment, even if you've got a fucking augmented little finger or something like that. I don't really understand the mechanism behind it, but you've got this chip in your face. And at the end of the first game, this evil nasty bastard who's got a maniacal laugh, flicks this switch that somehow magically makes absolutely every person who's ever been augmented in the entire world go thoroughly fucking berserk and wail on everybody. So now, everybody hates augmented people. And people have tried to say, oh, but, some evil maniacal guy flipped a master switch and made us all go evil. Instead, somehow the world just believes that it was a coordinated attack by every single augmented person in the entire world who somehow has got each other's Gmail accounts and decided that at the exact same time, on the exact same day, they were all just going to start wailing on each other, including their own kids and stuff.
Like a really angry flash mob.
Yeah!
Sounds like the plot to Kingsman.
It's really over
pretty
the
much
top.
does.
But it's got that, and everybody hates orgs, and they've all been corralled into these like org-only cities that are basically gigantic slums, and it's just they're abused on the streets, and nobody likes them, and it's just all a bit shit and bleak and not very nice. And in steps Adam Jensen, possibly the baddest of all asses that's ever worn... Well, in fact, I would say he's worn augments. He is actually about 95% augment at this point. I'm pretty sure he's just a head and a portion of torso that's still human.
He's a very manicured beard.
And he essentially just wanders around and rails the fuck out of everybody. And somehow has got this amazing green card to walk around the whole of Prague, where all these police are stopping people who have got so much as an augmented left nutsack. And he's walking around like this fucking human-shaped tank. But they're just like, yeah, cool, man, that's all good. You just keep going.
To be fair, I'd be alright with someone who had a couple of fucking sidewinders instead of a dick.
Why? Why would that be okay? It's like, sorry, man, I'm not into that. Sidewinders. Oh, fuck me, I'm bending over now.
That's right, don't worry.
Pornhub.
Yeah.
It's the whole game is fantastic. If you like I say, if you enjoyed the previous game, it is great. This is one of the only games that I play stealth by choice. And I love it. I think it's fantastic. But I'm one of these evil people who can never stream this game because absolutely everything that I do of any consequence, I save just before I do it. And if it goes wrong, I load again and do it all over again. So this was Deus Ex reloading save games for me.
Anti-streamer.
There's loads and loads of stuff that you can do to make yourself aggressive, or you can go stealthy. There's loads of conversation options, and you can affect things in the game, which ultimately at the end of the game feels utterly fruitless because you just get basically a choice of like 3 endings or something.
Hey, Mass Effect.
Yeah, there are ways to get better or worse endings and stuff like that, but it's just... It all feels fucking pointless. You're essentially looking... There's no two ways about it, right? Whatever you do in this game, you're going to end up feeling like curried shit at the end of it, because there is no good way to come out of this. Basically, the world is in the shitter. You're a bloke that's walking around shooting people, because somehow that's a good way of fishing people out of the shitter. There's a load of other people. I mean, the main storyline, the most nefarious thing that happens in the entire game is the train station gets blown up. Now, don't get me wrong, that's a really nasty thing to happen, but I'm fairly sure they copped about 5 people and that was the end of it. So the entire game is about you investigating the fact that these 5 dudes got blown up during this train station thing. I had killed more people during this game than died in the fucking train station. And that includes civilians and people who just got on my nerves, so I decided to nut them and push the wrong button and slice their head off or something. It's good. It commits the cardinal sin. The fucking cardinal sin. It makes me so angry in that the game ends on a cliffhanger. And it's not even a proper cliffhanger. It's right, we've resolved this particular part of the game, and then Adam Jensen walks up all surly and husky and goes, but there's still more of them out there. We need to
more
be
of
ready.
Who? I don't understand. It ends. People or
there's this like great big conspiracy behind everything that you think that you get quite excited that you're going to unravel it, but actually you kill random Lieutenant Number 4, and then the game ends. And it's just... And random Lieutenant Number 4 is such a fucking dunce that I just hid in an air vent and shot him in the face until he died. He's got all these amazing abilities, and he kept jumping at me, and for a game that I played completely in stealth mode, he runs at you like this fucking... He's like a fucking 28-foot brick... Built like 24 brick shithouses sellotaped together. Russian dude. And I played the entire game by avoiding people. And he runs at you, and I'm just like, well, that's fucking me out then, isn't it? What the fuck am I going to do? As it turns out, I just hid in an air vent, and he just wanders around outside the air vent going, "Where are you?" And every time he walks past, I shoot him in the face. And he goes, "I'll get you!" And then waits for a minute and then goes, "Where are you?" And carries on walking around. It's like, wow, good job on the AI. But yeah, it is an excellent game. Poor choices on the storyline that felt shoehorned in. Like they were really, really going for the Oscar nomination. Everybody's in a bad way. Everybody's being persecuted. People are being put into like weird, shonky concentration style camps. Boo fucking who. And I just couldn't find myself caring. I just frankly couldn't give a shit. And about halfway through the game, you're supposed to be helping these people who are maybe the good guys, but you're not sure if they're the good guys. And frankly, I just hated everybody so much. And I was just like, you know what? Fuck the lot of you. And I just started screwing my way through absolutely everything and doing whatever the hell I wanted. So the upside to the game is you can do that. You don't have to align yourself with one side or the other. You can basically ignore all of the fuck nuggets and do whatever the hell you want. So that's a good thing. But pretty much everybody in the game is inherently unlikable. So there we go. That's Deus Ex Mankind Divided. It is a great game. Don't let me put you off too much. Because
just don't play it all the way through to the end.
Well, look, I did sink 40-something hours into this. I'm not even sure anymore. Let me just check on my Steam. 49 hours I sunk into this game. Now, that is not bad. Considering most people say you've got 20 hours in this thing, Max, I did as much as I possibly could. So, sunk 49 hours into it, which, for the amount that I paid on cdkeys.com, which I think was about 26 quid, is an excellent amount of time to get out of a game. Yeah. And I didn't get bored. I didn't feel like, fuck it, I can't be bothered to play this anymore. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the experience all the way through. I couldn't play it again. After Human Revolution, I played through again with a different play style. I don't think I could do that with this. Because I already know all the people that I don't like. And I don't like them. So yeah, that's it. It's good. If you enjoyed the first game, you'll enjoy this one. If you didn't really enjoy the first game that much, or if you're looking for something a little bit more combat-oriented or something a bit different, it's not that.
Right.
There you go. That's a really long and rambling average game review. Oh, right. Sorry about that. Lewis, what else have you been playing?
So, I said it at the beginning, I've been mostly playing mobile games recently. I played a few. One's called Eden that I downloaded just because it says, because you played